Yay! I'm finally live. Okay, great, guys. I am testing this whole new YouTube live setup. So, hello. How y'all doing? I see Rachie, Tally, Tunisia. Oh my gosh, hello, guys. How's it going? Is everybody excited? I know I am. I actually haven't done YouTube live like at all. So this is a very fun a little experiment for me. And hi Madison. Hi guys. Hey Robin. Neil's there. Oh, hey everybody. If I'm looking down, that means I'm looking at your chats. John Ev, is that right? Oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing a couple of special lives throughout this challenge. So the bulk of the content, our 10 days, is going to be stuff that goes live or that goes onto YouTube that is pre-recorded. So you guys will see that day 1 through day 10. And those will go, I'm going to post those super early for those of you who might be following along in the UK or even in Australia. So I'm going to make those super early in the morning, but then I'm going to be doing some live sessions. Hence this kickoff today. We're also going to do a live session, a live celebration. And then I might do a little bonus one the following week. So just kind of like stay tuned and kind of like, as you have questions and we're going along, feel free to use the comments in all of the videos, but hopefully these live sessions give you that chance as well. Ooh, from Ireland, Rachie, I love it. Awesome. All right, guys. So I will introduce myself. I know you probably know who I am at this point. Hopefully, if you're in this challenge, you are like, know who you signed up for with. But this will live on our channel afterwards. So I'll just do my little spiel. My name is Whitney Nichole. And as many of you know, I'm a singer, a songwriter, a studio owner, vocal coach, all of those things. And then also I created the Singing Straw. And I am obsessed with straw phonation and a singing straw specifically, which is why I created it. And if you guys want to know the story, I will tell you now or at another time, but it is something that I launched in 2019 and we have now changed the lives of tons and tons of singers around the world. Straw phonation changed the game for my voice and I wanted to make an easy, simple, affordable product that everybody around the world could access or as many people as possible could access. So that is sort of the mission behind. Hi, Fee. Hi, everybody. I think that's sort of the mission behind this free challenge. And if you've been around for a while, you know we've got the YouTube channel and I do put out content there. And 2023 is going to be a big year, guys. Get ready. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos this year. But I've also done some paid like boot camps and courses and other things like that. And I want to be offering a sort of like range of products so that you guys, everyone has access. And that's why this challenge is free. Yay, you got your singing straw for Christmas. Yeah, Sari. Hi, Diane. Nice to see you all. I love you all. I love you all. Oh, I have a very, very low range, guys. It's sort of not normal. And I can sing like lower than many tenors. So if that's what you want, I can do it. And plus, I'm coming off of like 3 back-to-back viruses. So don't challenge me on my lowest. No, I'm telling you. From Alabama, Cecilia, what's up? Okay. So I do have a spiel for today. We are going to talk through your questions around straw phonation. I'm going to make sure that you understand how to use a singing straw, how to use whatever kit you have, whether you have the pro or the original. And then I will give you some options if you do not have one of these magic, beautiful little things. And I'm also going to tell you, we're going to recap kind of how the challenge is going to go. And I will announce our prizes that I'm going to be giving away at the end of the challenge that we're going to be giving out to, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lucky winners. So I'm really, really excited. All right. So first off, if you have a singing straw, let's do a quick checkup on how to use it. And if you have one, go ahead and check with me now and sing with me now. So I want you to sort of find, if you already are using your straw, you likely have sort of like a sweet spot size that you're using. For a lot of people, it's this 3 millimeter. And that's part of the reason we started with singing straw and started with 3 millimeter. Some people might be a little bit more comfortable with that 4 millimeter. I have met a few people who are more comfortable with the 2 millimeter, not that many, but they're out there. And then some people it's two straws at once. Okay. So what I want you to do right now is start with your sweet spot straw. And I want you to just kind of do a quick little slide throughout your range. Brenda, me too, right? Okay. Slide from the bottom to the top. We'll be doing this a lot in the challenge. So this is just to get yourself used to it. Now, one thing I'll say right off the bat, if you are new to straw phonation, you're going to feel that resistance and it's going to feel different. Okay. It's not a sensation that like most singers are used to if you're not familiar with straw phonation. So if you notice a few things I want you to pay attention for that are sort of like yellow flags that maybe you're not getting the most bang for your buck out of this. Red flag number one is if air is coming out the sides of your lips, right? Like your lips aren't sealing with the straw and you're getting an overblow, something like this, right? I'm not creating sound as I do this, but that extra air, like not being able to keep that sealed, that's a sign you've got too much air pressure coming out and or you have too narrow of a straw. Okay. And I can even show you with the 2 millimeter, it's really easy to overblow in this guy. You can kind of hear how that leaks out the side. So you don't want to be doing that. I would suggest that your first step, if you notice that you're overblowing, got air leakage, is to pull back on the volume and the air pressure, which just means don't try to blow all your air out. Just keep it nice and chill. Okay. And if that doesn't work, then you can go ahead and go up a size in diameter. Now, the other thing I want you to watch out for, guys, is if you are noticing like not a lot of airflow out the straw, or maybe it feels really easy, you're not feeling a lot of back pressure, and that can be a sign that you're actually humming rather than straw phonating, right? So here's an example of that. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can tell from here, but I don't have airflow coming out of the straw there. That's the same thing as me going, which is a hum, which is fine. And that's a great exercise to use in your practice, but it's not going to give you any of those benefits that straw phonation gives you. And that's the whole reason we're here, right? Is to use straw phonation to help get our voice in shape. So what I want you to do then is, if that's the case, I want you to plug your nose. So you're going to go like this. And that's going to make sure you don't have any of that airflow coming through the nose. And once you get comfortable with that and realize how that feels, you can stop plugging your nose. Okay. But those are, like, I would say, the biggest things. And then how do you know which size to use is you're going to start with the 3 millimeter. Beautiful, Jay, using 2 at once. That's absolutely fine. I think that's great to work on. So if I'm coming in and I start and I use this 3 millimeter and I feel like a lot of intensity, right? So like, it just feels like my head kind of hurts. My eyes feel like they're going to bulge out of my head. And I've already pulled back my volume and I've pulled back my airflow and I still feel that really intense sort of back pressure, like it's too much for me. All good. If you have the original kit, you're just going to use 2 at once. Anytime you double your straws, you're effectively combining the diameter. So if I have 2 3 millimeters here, then I want you to make sure, then I want you to know that when you double, you're going to a 6 millimeter. Does that make sense? And if you're doubling any of your pro kits, you're doing the same thing. If it's a 2 and a 3 you're adding, you're going to a 5. Okay. So this is going to look like this. And if you have an original or whatever you have right now, if you have a singing straw, go ahead and compare the feeling between 1 straw and 2 straws, even if you're really comfortable using the 1 straw, because I want you to really isolate with your body and your brain, like that feeling of back pressure. And you can really feel the difference when you go from 2 to 1, right? So let me know how that feels. Any other questions around sizing? I will actually bring up the pro kit as well. This is my jam, especially for more nuanced straw singers. Again, that 3 millimeter is my go-to, my personal go-to. But I will use this 2 millimeter for working like super high notes or really like tight riffs and stuff like that. And then my larger one, I will use when I'm in the thick of a cold or a sickness. And those of you who have like bigger voices. So one thing I'll say around straw phonation and the ideal straw size for you, it does correlate, or studies show, or like that's sort of like the hypothesis and is being proven right now in studies, is that it's related to that vocal tract and vocal fold sizing, right? So what that means is if you are a big bass, and I don't mean like just big human, I'm talking more about the vocal tract size, right? And you can probably see the difference. And just imagine an extreme, like you can think of like really big, beefy bass singer versus like a really small 6-year-old kid. The vocal tract sizes, and when I say vocal tract, what I mean is just like where your larynx is all the way up through the back of your throat and your mouth, that size is pretty different, right? So if you know that you have a really deep, really rich, really resonant, bassy voice, that 4 millimeter might be where you end up going to. So that's why that pro kit is there. Yes. Ronald asks, what should I be feeling actually? That back pressure sensation is just that sort of like feeling of energy coming back into the vocal tract as you sing or into your mouth. You might feel it like it's opening the back of your throat. You might feel it like it's lowering your larynx or kind of rounding out the back of your mouth. Because as I sing through and this narrow straw blocks the air partially, that's that energy that comes back. That's the back pressure that you're feeling. So, and to isolate that, like I said, go back and forth between 1 and 2, and you'll really start to feel the difference between those two sizes. That's going to be your back pressure. Beautiful. Will the pro level or black straws come into play? I'm a voice on camera. Actually, would switching to a pro kit. Oh, I just answered. Okay, great. I'm like a little late on my chats, but I'm doing it. We're doing it. Okay. So that hopefully answers your size questions and then also just like the things to watch out for. I will also say that in this challenge, the last couple of days get pretty tricky, but get pretty challenging. It's a challenge. I couldn't make it like all easy peasy. You're going to like do day 1. You're going to be like, oh, well, that's easy, Whitney. What are we talking about here? So, but just wait for day 9 and day 10. Okay. Those are pretty intense exercise sets. Now, when you get to those, do not like push yourself if you're feeling like that's too much for you. If you can't quite keep up, the great thing about YouTube and all of the like online course offerings I have is that there's always a speed you can actually change the speed of these videos as you watch them back. So you can slow them down if they're if you can't quite get all the notes, and you can speed them up if you're looking for more of a challenge. So as we get to those harder days in like 8, 9, and 10, I really want to make sure that you guys are thinking about, okay, what does my voice need? Is this a little bit too much for me right now? And maybe that just means slowing the video down. Maybe that means actually skipping that more challenging exercise and redoing one of the earlier days. That's totally cool as well. You can always come back and work your way up to these more complex exercises that we're going to be doing at the end. And I also will say, feel free to drop out as we're doing exercises, as we're going up and down. I made these really wide ranges. So I go pretty dang high and then I come back pretty low. So if you can't reach all the notes, that's totally fine. I wanted to make it as inclusive as possible for all singers. So just know that if you start to get to a point where your voice is puffing out or you don't have the access, totally chill, just drop out and then join back in on the way down. Brenda, I'm a classically trained singer. Does it matter that you don't sing pop? Not at all. No way. Some of my, hi, Janet. Oh, love your voice, alum. Yeah, Brenda, it does not matter at all. So straw phonation is like a tool. It's a technique that's going to help your voice and your vocal folds function in a better way for whatever you want to sing, right? And that's kind of the beauty of it, because it's helping our instrument, which is like part of our body, work in this like optimal fashion. Okay. And ultimately the stylistic choices, and then also like the acoustic strategies you use in like in showing up in classical versus contemporary voice, those things are going to change. And you can, if for example, you like, I have a Love Your Voice course. I'll mention a little bit more about that later, that Janet's a part of, and Lynella, hi. So in that course, there's going to be a lot of different exercise sets that combine exercises with the straw and then vowel and consonant exercises to then work different strategies and approaches in your voice. And so some of those might be more conducive to classical, some of those might be more conducive to contemporary. But in terms of this challenge, everything is straw phonation, and it's going to apply to just healthy voice use for classical singers, pop singers, all kinds of styles, and then also even just for speakers. All right. Yeah, totally. Classical singers love the straw. It's not, I have more power to all of us for it. Right. All right. So what's my next thing? Oh, I wanted to tell you if you don't have a singing straw, again, I'm telling you, I want to make this as accessible as possible for as many people as possible. So I realize that the straw may not be accessible for everybody, the singing straw. So your absolute best option, if you can find those little plastic stirring straws, that would be your best next option. if you can't find something like that, here's how you're going to modify a regular drinking straw. Now, the reason, and this is so funny because I pulled this out of my, my kids like to drink smoothies with these, and I pulled it out of my kitchen to bring it over here, and it was full of smoothie. It was so gross, which is, okay. So like, let's take a break. Let's just pause. Everybody here, if you have a singing straw, please wash it on a regular basis. Please do me that favor. I do not want us to have nasty insides of those straws. Okay. I included a brush for a reason. It just takes a little water and dish soap. Before this challenge, your homework is to go wash your straw. Okay. Okay. Got it. So anyway, I went and washed this one now. So this is a larger diameter straw. I think this might be even bigger than a 6 millimeter, but normal drinking straws are 6 to 8 millimeters. All right. Yeah. I mean, that is saliva/condensation is real. People message about it all the time. I'm like, it happens. There's no way of avoiding it because there's so much of that dampness in our breath as it comes out. So anyway, let's just for a second look at the difference in size here. And I always, so funny, guys. We do all these like ads, right? Because I want like to get the singing straw out there. And one of the biggest comments is like, whatever, you can just do it with any straw. And I'm kind of like, well, no, you can't. Like, do you see a difference here? There is a massive difference between these two things. And size is incredibly important, both diameter, but also length, but more so diameter is incredibly important when it comes to straw phonation and the impacts that you're going to get at the vocal fold level and through your vocal tract. Okay. So you can't just, if I went, woo, you can hear that in like back pressure. You can hear that intensity. You can hear it working. Watch this. Woo. I might as well be oohing, right? I might as well be going, woo, because it's just the same. It's not the same. You're basically getting like no back pressure here. So if you're going to use a regular size drinking straw, you have to modify. You've got a couple of options. If you have a silicone version like this, you can pinch the end. So I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to pinch almost all the way. I'm not closing it all the way off, but almost all the way. And I'm going to get some back pressure, right? Now, the key with any of these modifications is they're all variable. And that's part of the reason I love like our product is because you know what you're going to get with the 3. You know what you're going to get with the 2. You know what you're going to get with the 4. You know what you're going to get. It's always the same. These are all variable. So pinching that end, the more you pinch, the more back pressure, the less you pinch, less. Okay. That's one option. The other option, if you don't have a silicone, is to put your finger on the edge and just try to like 90% block them. Okay. So, all right. So you're going to get back pressure there as well. Another go around, and you can do this with your singing straw as well, is take your glass of water and sing into that. Okay. It's not my favorite because it's kind of messy, but some people love it, and straw phonation in water can be a cool alternative. So those are the ways you're going to modify a regular drinking straw if you do not have a singing straw. And if you don't have any straw at all, you can still do this challenge. And I still want you to do this challenge. And I would say if you don't have anything, just you choose another SOVT on any of these exercises. And so SOVT, if you don't already know, if you haven't heard me talk about it, is a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. It's the type of exercise that straw phonation is. I like to think that straw phonation is like the Mac Daddy of SOVTs. But other SOVTs that you could use for any of these would be a lip trill. It would be a V or a Z. So or zzz. And then my favorite, blowfish or straw without a straw. This one looks real cute. Get ready. Okay. So those are your options if you do not have a straw. Someone just asked me how often you wash your straw. I don't think there's anything like daily is fantastic. That would be wonderful. You're not actually eating from it. So I don't personally wash it every single day. Whereas my smoothie straws, I do wash every single day. But I would say for me personally, it's more like a weekly or a bi-weekly thing. I know, but you just got to do it. I also know people who don't do it at all. So just please wash it. At least monthly. Again, we're not consuming through these. You should not be drinking water or eating or anything like that with it. So it's less important than like your forks and your knives in your kitchen. But yeah, Jody asked a great question. Can a beginner start with a pro? Absolutely. The reason we marketed it that way and called it the pro is more that I figured people who would be most inclined to get that are the ones who are already kind of using straw phonation and understand the nuances of why they would want to use the 2, why they'd want to use the 4, or why they'd stick with the 3. The 3mm is going to be the most common size that's best for most singers. That's why the original is that size. So it's totally fine if you're a beginner and you got a pro, no problem at all. I would just say start with that 3mm and see how you feel. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. I think I answered all those questions. Any other questions before I dive in and kind of walk you through how the challenge is going to work? And I know I kind of talked about this in the intro video, but I'll answer any questions. And now that we've got it all ready. Yes. Okay. So essentially it's a 10-day challenge. And like my goal here, everybody, is, my goal here is to get you into a routine. So what I find so often with singers in both my one-on-ones and at Songbird Studios, the biggest challenge that singers have is knowing how to practice and knowing how much to practice, right? And so the how to practice is taken care of with the straw in a lot of ways. And I don't think that you should just use straw phonation in your singing careers. I know a lot of people they're like, she's the straw lady. Like, I don't just sing through a straw, right? I work a lot of also exercises when I have one-on-one students and when I'm working my own voice, I use a straw and then I use vowel and consonant and other sorts of exercises. And then I do song work and then I use straw in and out with that and interchangeably in that. It's just a very effective piece. But if you're on your own and you're not doing one-on-one lessons with like an expert or a teacher or a vocal coach that you trust, and you want to be practicing and knowing that you're practicing in a way that's teaching healthy habits as opposed to like reiterating bad habits, straw phonation is awesome because it's the only tool out there that actually helps those vocal folds vibrate in a healthier manner. Meaning if I am pulling a lot of tension and maybe straining on a song, if I take the straw and then run through that, it's going to lighten the vocal fold compression and it's going to help find that more easy sound, the sweet spot of the sound. And then the same goes if I'm singing something and I can't quite get enough connection, maybe my sound's a little bit breathy or maybe my voice is a little bit light, straw phonation is actually going to help to encourage a little bit more connection on that. So it's a really helpful tool to make sure that like the practice you're doing is actually moving the needle in the right direction. Okay. And then the other thing is just that consistency is where it matters when it comes to growing any skill and practicing anything. So singing is not it's like not very different than learning any other skill, right? It's just a little bit of practice consistently so that your body starts to learn how to do it is what you're going to need to get that success and sort of see that progress. Okay. And so again, the reason I've set this up 10 days for 5 to 10 minutes a day, maybe a little bit longer if you're doing our next level, those of you who are going to be stacking the exercises, but for the most part, this is just a little bit every day because that consistency is way more important. You are going to see way better results by doing 5 to 10 minutes of practice a day for 10 days versus doing 1 or 2 2-hour sessions. Okay. So it's really, really important. All right. Jay, would the pro be overkill for me? I'm a baritone doing only voiceover type things, or would I benefit with the stroke? Well, with a baritone, I mean, honestly, I might go for the pro just because you might find that at times that 4mm is what you need. But I would go between, I don't think it's overkill. No, I would go, and it kind of, if you have an original already, you could tell me like, how does that 3mm feel to you? And does it ever feel like a little bit too intense? And if that's the case, I would say, go ahead and get the pro, because then you have the smaller size to go right up to. In our original kit, you can only go 3, 6, 9. Right? But with our pro kit, you can go 2, 3, 4, and then combine all the way above from there. Spitty, you were doing Jacob's Vocal Academy. Yeah, they've got some great exercises. And honestly, secret, you can take your straw and go do those exercises too. And you switched to straw months ago and feeling your voice developing. Yeah, guys, straw phonation is, I'm telling you, this was like, it was a huge pivotal moment in my own voice, like crazy. Beautiful. All right. So how the challenge is going to work, right? So we start on Monday. Like I said, I will schedule these to go out like super, super, super early. I think I might even do like midnight or like 1 a.m. California time, so that those of you who are around the world can get them on the earlier side of your day. I will send an email that reminds you that the challenge is live and the video of the day is out. But if you subscribe to the channel, you should get notifications there as well. So we'll have day 1 through 10 every single day. I'm going to take you through 2 exercises. The first is going to be a slide, just because the slide is my go-to, and there's nothing wrong with doing 10 slides in a row. They're the best for your voice. So it's going to be slide, and then it's going to be a chosen exercise of the day. Okay. And I try in each of these videos to give you a few options to take it a little bit further, and a few options to kind of like make it a little easier if that challenges or if that exercise is a little bit hard for you. So really, truly, I want this to be as inclusive as possible. So it's okay if you're a beginner, if you're okay. It's also cool. I know I've got some professionals like joining me for this challenge too. So performing artists and things like that. So really it's just you are in charge of how far you want to take this and how intense you want to make it. All right. And I do want to encourage you the entire time at any point. If you feel like you want to modify something, modify it. So if you want to move it to a vowel, if you want to drop the octave, if you want to pause and come back when we go lower, if you want to go slower, if you want to go faster, if you want to sub with another exercise, all I care about is that you get this 5 to 10 minutes with your voice, like intentional voice practice every single day through the challenge. Okay. Now, if you haven't already, make sure that you've RSVP'd. We've got over 700 people RSVP for this challenge. Can you believe that? I'm really excited. And I hopefully we'll get a couple more before we start on Monday, which would be super, super awesome. But for all of you who are doing it, make sure that you have RSVP'd. That way you have our challenge guide. Now I put a little note in there, kind of like talking you through how to get started. And there's also a calendar. So you can see both the regular sort of like standard challenge, which is doing each exercise with me day by day. Then you also have the next level of the challenge. There's a calendar for that too. And that is going to be compiling each exercise. So on day 2, you're going to do day 1 and 2. Right? On day 3, you're going to do day 1, day 2, and day 3. On day 4, you're going to do 1 through 4. Okay. Does that make sense? So by the end, and man, day 10 is going to be intense, because like I told you earlier, if you were listening to me, that 9 and the 10, those are like the hardest days. So that's going to be a big one. If you're doing that next level, please take your time with those last 2 exercises, and I'll remind you on those days as well. But those are the most intense exercises. And if you need to take breaks or pause or go every other scale or exercise, that is totally fine. All right. Yes. Oh, Robert, I love it. Game changer for me too. Okay. So that's basically how it's going to work. Now in the challenge guide, if you already have it, which you should, and if you don't, it's in the comment section or the, whatever info section underneath this live session and in the announcement video. The challenge guide also has some reflections. Now, I'm not super woo, I promise you. I kind of I'm way more analytical. I like practical, like tactical things that you can do, that you can feel, like step-by-step stuff. But it is really actually important to weave in some of this sort of like mental and emotional work around our voice as well, because unlike playing the piano or the guitar, my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts all impact how my voice functions. Okay. And if you don't believe me, I promise you, I've had so many issues where like singers will run into problems and they'll come see me and there's nothing happening with their voice. Their voice is absolutely fine. It's all some other sort of emotional or stressor in their life that's coming through their body in their singing. So, and getting in the way of their singing. So if you feel like a little window, like you're open to this, I strongly suggest getting on and doing those before reflections and the after reflections. So what you're going to also do in conjunction with that is I'd like you to record a little piece of yourself singing before this challenge. And choose a song or a melody that is somewhat challenging to you. Okay. So like sort of middle of the road, something that you sing that you wouldn't maybe perform tomorrow. Okay. Because I don't want you to just like record your before as this perfect performance, right? Because we're all starting at different levels. So just sing a little piece of something that challenges you. You can save that video just for yourself if you want. Okay. But if you feel like putting yourself out there a little bit or wanting a little bit of accountability, go ahead and post it and tag me so that I can see and hear what you're doing along the way. But then you're going to hang on to that recording. And at the end of these 10 days, you're going to go back, sing the same exact thing, record it, and then you're going to compare them side by side and use that to help drive those reflections. Okay. So again, if you want to get the absolute most out of this challenge, that's how I suggest that you do it. All right, all right. Yes. Okay. What else? What else? What else around? Oh, okay. Well, the most exciting piece of this, which is the giveaways and the prizes. Okay. So the day after, oh, the RSVP page is not working. Are we down? Let me see here. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, maybe it's a www here. I must have linked it wrong. Here it is in the chat. I'll go fix it. Are you guys, the one you're pulling that has an error, is that in the caption? I'll fix it later. But there it is. I just posted it. So make sure that you RSVP. That's where you get the guide. You will be able to download it right away. Okay? Beautiful. Awesome. Leah, define challenges you, because sometimes you want to sing something and it's so challenging, and then you realize this ain't for you, baby girl. Okay, first of all, I think that you can sing it. I think that you can even sing those. But let's see. For this challenge, for this 10 days, I would say something you can get through, meaning like something that you can actually sing the complete range of, but maybe a couple of the notes are a little tight or a little pitchy or a little like not perfect, not shimmery, whatever. Not something that you can't actually reach. Does that make sense? If you want a bigger challenge, then you definitely want to join the Love Your Voice course, because we do a before and after in that. And that's 8 weeks of exercises and trainings and all kinds of stuff. And that will take it even deeper. But for this challenge, I would say something that challenges you somewhat that you can already get through, but you can actually reach the notes, if that makes sense. Although I will say this challenge should increase almost all of your ranges. Okay. So are you ready for the prizes? So here's what's going to happen. Ideally, you're going to record yourself and you're going to do those reflections. And then you're going to show up with me every single day of the challenge on YouTube. Now, when you do those exercises, when you're there, whatever time of day you do it, and I will say this, if you miss one, I won't be mad. Okay. Like try to show up every day, because again, this is all about the consistency. But if you miss a day, don't stress. I'm kind of like a recovering perfectionist. And so in situations like this, if I miss a day, I'll be like, oh, now why would I even keep going? Like, I'm not even going to do tomorrow because I failed. So like, don't do that. Okay. That's not helpful. What I actually want you to do if you miss a day is just be like, no bigs. I'm just going to do 2 tomorrow. Okay. And then you pick back right up where you left off. Join us the next day. All right. So don't stress. It doesn't have to be perfect. But those of you who are coming along every single day, every day that you do, make sure you drop a comment so I know that you're doing it, right? Because part of how we're going to judge these prizes at the end in our giveaways is going to be based on engagement. And so all of that's going to be in the chat. And the comments of the YouTube videos. And then I would say you'll be able to get some bonus points if you are tagging me both on my 2 favorite socials, which are Instagram. So you can do that on stories or posts, and you can tag me. I'm Whitney Sings, or Singing Straw. We'll track both of those. And then also TikTok. I'm Not Your Basic Vocal Coach over there. And then we also have a page, Singing Straw. So either one of those options, you can post and tag and let us know that you're doing it. And then if any of you are like anti-social media, I don't blame you. Then just reply to the email, like the daily email. You get an email, it's gonna be like day 1's live, and you can respond and be like, done, or I love that one, or that was really hard. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to engage as much as you can. And the more you engage, the more likely you win one of these lovely prizes. All right? Yeah. Rachie, Jessie J, Whitney, Gaga. Yeah, totally. Like one of those songs. Yes. Conscious decision to do it every day in order to develop that healthy habit. Yes, that is like literally what this is about. Okay. Little bit every single day. My MJ Wheelie, I know I redid here. I'm giving you the link one more time. I don't know why the caption isn't working. That's probably an error on my part. I'll fix it after, I promise. Okay. But I threw it in the chat so you have it. All right. You want to know the prizes? Are you excited for the prizes? They don't suck. I'm going to start from the bottom, but obviously, we're going to give away a singing straw. How could I not? A singing straw original. Someone's going to win one of these. All right. Someone's going to win a pro. Yes, you will win a black or a gold pro, probably a black. And we will send those out. So those are two of the prizes, right? Lucky winner. Then we're also going to do a $50 gift certificate to Sweetwater, which is an awesome like music techie sort of gear place that you can buy lots of awesome stuff. If you want to get a microphone, if you want to get a speaker, if you want to get a keyboard, if you want to get, lights or a camera or, for your YouTube channel or your podcast or whatever it is. All right. So $50 gift certificate to Sweetwater. Then we're going to give away one of those Singing Straw Pro bundles. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we launched this in December and they sold out. And so we did another round of restock. And it's a downloadable practice exercise set from the daily from my most popular YouTube video here. So basically what I did is I took all the exercises that were in that video and then I put it in all 4 different voice parts. And so it's a downloadable exercise practice track of that. It's a Singing Straw Pro. And then it is one of our limited edition My Voice Today journals. And this is the second time we've done those. And there's only, again, like I said, we did one reorder and that's going to be it after that. Cause I like to do the limited edition and freshen them up every couple of years. So that is a really awesome bundle. That's valued at $100. So those are awesome prizes. I think we're at like $250 worth of prizes so far. And the next one is a very, very exciting because it is a month worth of free voice lessons at my studio here in San Francisco, Songbird Studios. No, you don't have to live in San Francisco to get this. We do our voice lessons online as well. So if you live anywhere else in the world, you can still redeem this. And this is awesome because it's valued at $235. It is basically a full month of weekly 30-minute voice lessons. So you get to meet one of our awesome coaches. You'll get to have one-on-one work with them. You'll get to build on what you've already done in the challenge. And our team at Songbird they're like the dream team. We have such an amazing group of teachers there. I personally work with all of them. We do trainings twice a month. They're like my family and they're amazing. And I promise you, like anyone you get in front of, you're going to be lucky because they change lives every single day. And then lastly, our big prize is going to be a full enrollment to the Love Your Voice course. And I will talk more about this towards the end of the week because I will invite you guys to join, anybody who's like wanting to keep doing their work and wanting to go deeper and kind of take things more intensely. And I know we had some alums here like, Lynella and Janet, and they can kind of speak to how incredible that program is. But it is a really intensive 2-month program. And that's going to be a DIY. We have 2 different versions of the Love Your Voice course. I last year did live sessions and I'm going to be doing a live session this year, which is really exciting. So that is one level. And then there's also sort of like the DIY level, which just means you get everything that's pre-recorded and all of the course content, but you don't get the live sessions or the community group. That's the higher tier. So we're going to be giving away the DIY version of the course, which is valued at $497. And it's super, super awesome. So again, you could win the Love Your Voice course. You could win a month of one-on-one voice lessons at Songbird Studios. You could win the Singing Straw Pro bundle. You could win that gift certificate to Sweetwater. You could win a Singing Straw Pro or a Singing Straw Original. All right. So this is all based on how much engagement, how much you're doing, because I know that the more you do and the more involved you are in this, the more progress you're going to have and the more change and growth you're going to see in your voice. And that's why I'm here. All right. So please, please, please don't be shy. Comment, tag me on all the things and like, let me know how you're doing. Thank you, Lynella. Yes, I'm so glad you're back into it. Jay, I'm so excited to have you in the challenge. I know, Rachie, they're awesome, aren't you? You know what, Robert? I don't think I'm going to be at NAMM, but we should probably send someone at NAMM, shouldn't we? We should probably have a presence there at Singing Straw. It's not a bad idea. Thanks, Robert. Did I miss any questions, you guys? I want to make sure I answer anything that you need before we start on Monday. All right. Yeah. And, take a chill this weekend, you've got 3 or 4 days until we start. So, somebody asked what time I'm going to post those. I think I'm going to post them at like 12 a.m., like midnight California time. So what's that going to be? Probably 8 a.m. UK time. And then is that noon in Australia? Help me out here with the time change. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we'll do. I'm going to do them super, super early. Super, super early. So again, so you can get them going. Now, if for some reason you have to do the challenge a day later, that's also fine. And so we're going to do a celebration prize giveaway is basically going to be on day 11. So like we end on, I think what day? The 25th? What's my math? Yeah, I think and on the 25th and then the 26th is whatever the day after day 10 is, that is the day we're going to do a live party giveaway and we'll announce all the giveaways. All right. I'm so excited for this. We did a challenge 2 years ago and it was super awesome, but it was my first time doing it. And I kind of was like, just going to post a bunch of videos and I don't really know who's going to do it or if people are going to like it. And then people loved it. So this time I want to be more involved. And that's why we're doing the live sessions. And that's why I want all the engagement because I want to be here for you guys. Look at this. My mom's calling me. Mom, don't call me. I'm busy. Jeez. But I'm really excited for this round because I think it's going to be awesome. And we have more singers than ever participating. And this is all about the community and you guys and supporting each other. Oh, thanks, Jay. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to post them under this video. I'll try to get back to them. And then that challenge video is going to go live first thing Monday morning, this coming Monday. Thanks, He. I love this. I'm so excited. I'm so, so excited. But remember, to get the most out of the challenge, go ahead and do that pre-work. Okay. So that little recording. And I'm telling you, if there's something inside of you that's like, I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to do that. Like, I'm feeling like I'm not going to do that. If that's like what your inner like voice is saying, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret that probably means you need it the most, right? Anytime I have like resistance to something, I always get curious and ask myself, like, what is this resistance about? Sometimes it's about ego. Sometimes it's about like being threatened by a situation. Hopefully that's not the case here because this is the most supportive group you could have on the internet. But sometimes it's just about like, it's pushing you outside of your comfort zone. Right. And so oftentimes when I notice that in myself, I use it as a sign that I'm going to do it because I need to like kind of take that leap and push myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone because that is where the growth happens. And I'm hoping that you have growth. Sandra, the pre-work is in the downloadable challenge guide. I'll send the link one more time. So if you register there, then there's like a link to download that. And then you also get it via email. I'll send another big email reminder the day before the challenge starts. And I'll include the link there as well, just so that everybody has time to do it. But like, it does take a little bit of time because there's a few questions that you can spend some time journaling with. But more importantly, I want you to do that pre-video. Okay. So this, again, it's about growth in your voice, but also about growth in the way you think about your voice and the way that you treat your voice. The reason I call my course the Love Your Voice course is because my mission isn't to make everyone Beyonce and help you win American Idol. Although hopefully if you really want to win American Idol, then like we can help you get there along the way as well. But my goal for all of you is to actually embrace your true authentic self and your true authentic voice and be proud of that because it's unique. Like a thumbprint, like there's only one you. And I know that sounds cheesy, but if you spend your entire life being like, well, I wish I sounded more like, Idina Menzel, then you're missing out on the beauty of your own voice. And there's something unique and original and special about that. And so my hope is that through this challenge, you become more acquainted with it. You become more comfortable in how you express it. And then you're also more like skilled at how to control it, which is that like the pitch and the dynamics and the accuracy and all of that. All right. So please do that pre-work, little journaling, little before video so that you can reflect after. Stay engaged throughout the challenge. If you are doing this, go on Instagram right now, put up a story, be like, I'm doing this, tag me, let me know. And the more engaged you are, the more likely you will win one of those awesome prizes, the Love Your Voice course, the month of free voice lessons, the Singing Stroke Pro bundle, the gift card to Sweetwater, the Pro or the original. Okay. And also just thank you for being here. You guys are totally awesome. Robert, you can totally do it in the car. So you said, he said, someone told me trying to sing over road noise could be an issue for your vocals. Anytime you're over singing, you could get a little tired, sure. But with straw phonation, you're not going to be over singing, because the moment you over sing, you start to overblow, and then it's kind of like you start to get exhausted. So straw is going to kind of keep you in check with that. The only thing I would say is just like, be safe. Okay. Drive safely. I drive all the time and sing with my singing straw, but like, I imagine like getting in an accident while having a singing straw in your mouth would not be ideal. So like, let's be very cautious with how you do it. But find these 5 to 10 minutes in your day. I don't care if it's in the shower. I don't care if it's right when you wake up. I don't care if it's right before you go to bed. Sam's here. Oh my gosh. Hi. More Love Your Voice alums. I love it. So nice to see you, Sam. Yeah. So you guys, wherever you can fit this in your day, it's not going to be long. The first video I talk a lot. I'm sorry. It's like 10 minutes, but the rest of them are going to be like 5 minutes long. Okay. Real fast, real fast. So, it's not a lot of time. If it's, and I would pair it. One of my, I feel like I heard this from Gemma Shagru when she was recapping Tiny Habits for me, which I didn't actually read, but, is a great book. Pairing it with something you're already doing on a regular, like on a day-to-day, in your routine. Okay. So whether that's like, I brush my teeth and then I sing my exercises, or I go get my lunch in the middle of my day and then do my exercises. And what's fantastic about straw phonation, you guys, is you can pop these videos in your earphones and you can do them anywhere they're not loud. I mean, listen, how loud is that? Like, you could be at an office and you just like, no one's really even going to hear you. So you have no excuses. Oh, Gemma's the best. You guys go visit Gemma on Instagram. Gemma Shagru. She is the bomb. I love her. Yes. So I will have separate videos every day, Rachie. And you can bookmark like where I sing on each of those, because I do like a little hello and get you started, and then the exercise of the day, and then a little recap. So yeah, man, these live sessions really got me reminding myself that I need to stop saying I keep saying hello. The engagements, actually, I would say the primary place for engagement is the comment section of the YouTube videos. Start there, and then you get bonus points for going to Instagram and TikTok or TikTok. If like one of those two is like your go-to, I'm active on both of those. So like, feel free to tag me on either of those. You can tag me on Twitter and Facebook. I'm just not there that often, so I might not see it as much, but I will look before I choose the prize winners in all the places. And then, like I said, for those of you who are not social media people, more power to you, but you can respond to the emails. You just be like, reply to that and be like, check, done, whatever. Oh, and in the calendar, so you fillable. So you've got a little check mark you can do on your computer. If you're like me and you like physical copies of stuff, you can print out the calendar, put it on your wall, and then check it off as you go. There's like, I get this dopamine hit anytime I'm checking things off. It's like my life. Beautiful. All right, guys. If there aren't any other questions, y'all are lovely. I can't wait to see you on these posts and how you're doing. Please let me know how it all goes. Like I said, I guess I'll give one more warning for how challenging it gets in those day 8, day 9, day 10. Okay. It is pretty dang challenging. So be ready to modify. No shame in the modifications. I know, right, Diane? I check those things off like nobody. I'm sorry if the screen is glitchy. It could be my internet. You know those internet people. Thank you for being. No, I think you can hear me still. All right. Well, I think that's the universe telling me I need to get off live, but I love you all. Thank you for doing this with me. Brenda, I love it. Singing at every. My oldest client was 83 when I was working with her. So I love it. You guys do this. And please share with anyone in your life that you think might benefit. If you know someone who loses their voice a lot or anything like that, share and let them know it's totally free. The more the merrier, and go win those prizes, my friends. All right. I love you all. I'll see you on Monday.